So in this video we'll be doing chapter 1, which is an introduction to React. I'm going to be the driver. Vhukhudo is going to be my navigator, and we're going to be doing React with hooks this time. So like we said last time, React is a framework that was released by Facebook for creating single page applications, right? And with React we are able to manipulate DOM elements efficiently. So loading and unloading different views of the same page involve querying and manipulating DOM elements, such as DOM operations involving adding children, removing subtrees, and this can be really slow. So React addresses this shortcoming in manipulating DOM elements efficiently. So it does this by updating the browser DOM for us. So with React we do not need to interact with the DOM directly. We instead interact with the virtual DOM, which React uses to construct an actual DOM. So we use asynchronous operations, and when we need to get or send data from or to the server, we send a request to the server. But these are mainly restricted to initial loading and necessary server-side operations like database operations, right? So here we will learn about React with hooks from scratch in step-by-step fashion. So we'll also build an application where we can input search terms and receive the search results via GitHub RESTful API. So in the end, we'll build a working application with full CRUD operations. So if we want to think in components, a React app is made up of components. So if we want to build a storefront module, like what we see on Amazon, we can divide it into 3 components: the search bar component, sidebar component, and product component. So this is what it's going to look like. And the benefit of such an architecture helps us to break up a large application into smaller, manageable components, and we can also reuse these components on a different application. So the first thing that we do is we're going to create a simple string called products. So if I go to my app.js, right, and then we can also define our components using HTML-like syntax known as JSX, right? And this is a syntax extension to JavaScript. So if we want to set up, we have to install Node first using either this command or this command. Then we have to install create React app, and to do that we use this command here. And then we'll be using a Chrome browser. Then to create a project, we run this command and we give it the project name. Then we enter that and we say npm start to run the project. So after doing all of this, this is what our file structure is going to look like, and this is what our index.js is going to look like. In index.js we're gonna have this here, and then in our app.js, like I just showed, we're gonna have this here, right? And then we can edit our first React component now. So because our app.js currently has a bit of boilerplate, we will delete most of that. As you can see, I already deleted most of that, and we started with a simple app.js, and this is what we have now. And with this we can define application logic to interact with the view through state properties and adding other functions. So for now, our root app component has no state properties or other functions. When we run it, we'll see something like this, right? So if I say npm start and the server will start running on our Chrome browser, we'll see something like this. So we can change this to make it learn React hooks, right? And then we also have function versus class-based components, and there are 2 primary ways of creating these components like we've shown. The first is function components and the other is class components, right? So yeah, the aim is to learn to develop React apps with hooks, which would be a meaningful shift in the future of our React development. So in summary, in this chapter we have been introduced to core building blocks of React apps, which are components, and we've also been introduced to the React development experience, which is creating a new React project. So with Create React App provides internal compilation which automatically generates our app for us that we can view on the browser. Thank you. I was the driver, and Vhukhudo was